is flat Earth? Yep. Got it. Good thing you're doing that. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wait, and let me just start recording myself. So Samantha, today is your birthday?
No, but Yen
close
brought
enough.
a huge flag, and we couldn't hang it up. It's this entire box. So the idea was to have a Danish flag.
Okay. I thought this was just a not has nothing to do with a birthday, right? Or it
Nope.
does. Okay. See, I'm going into this thing blind.
Me too.
Yeah.
Great follower.
So we're gonna open some doors today, and I'm looking for proof. We're not trying to prove the Earth is a globe, flat. We're trying to prove the Earth is a globe, and we're gonna fail miserably, right? Behind me is a balloon that we put up to 120,000 feet, and it shows a stationary flat Earth plane. Unlike in Zoom, where the default background is a cartoon of a globe. Did you know that there's no pictures of the Earth from space? Everyone's like, wait a minute. I've seen pictures of Earth from space. NASA admits that they're all made in Photoshop. This one's called the Blue Marble. It was on everybody's iPhone when the iPhones first came out. But Robert Simon, a NASA visual artist, told us how he made it in an interview. He made it in Photoshop. He was given data. He goes, oh, there's more plankton here. I'll make that greener. Oh, this is a tropical area. I'll make that, blue or whatever. And he was lazy. He used the same clouds again and again in Photoshop. He just rubber stamped them. So there's no photos of Earth, and NASA, 2 photos. Suppose that NASA doesn't even use the word photos. They use the word images and pictures because they don't want to lie. And if you look at the United States, it's twice the size. Doesn't make any sense, right? So if you Google flat Earth, hey, flat Earth, you're going to get pictures like this. No flat earther thinks this is flat Earth. Only globe believers believe flat earthers think this is flat Earth. We don't think that. We don't think that we're a flat planet with other round planets or even other flat planets. That is a purposely sent out disinformation to make you laugh at flat Earth and never look into it. And at the end of this, we're going to go, why would they lie about the shape of the Earth? What difference does it make? And it makes all the difference in the world. As a matter of fact, with all the insanity that's going on in the world, it is the number one thing that you should be concerned with. And I will explain why as we get there. So if we're not a disk floating in space, what are we? And the answer is, think about a puddle. A puddle is where water accumulates after a rainstorm, right? And you have a puddle. And what constitutes the edge of a puddle? That's where the land is higher than the puddle all the way around. And that creates your basin. A pond is a bigger puddle. A lake is a bigger pond, right? The edge of a lake is where the land is higher than the water. Dig a little trench at the edge of a lake and all the water will just go through that trench until it finds its level again. Large bodies of water at rest seek their level. So if this is our world pond and these are all the continents and islands, they're all surrounded by water, but the water needs a container. Large bodies of water at rest need a container. Well, that container is the shoreline that goes all the way
around. Hun er inviteret til et interview med en, der var vigtigere end Donald Trump. Det er så ham her.
Amelia, når du skal mute.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That shoreline is known as Antarctica. So we live in the Antarctic basin. Antarctica isn't a continent at the bottom of a ball, right? Antarctica, they tell us, is the highest land on Earth. Interesting. Why is Antarctica the highest land on all of the globe, right? It's because Antarctica is the highest land. They can't hide that. So it is the shoreline that surrounds us. What's out here? We don't know because nobody's allowed to explore the outer limits of Antarctica. There's islands all the way around. There's like 8 different islands all the way around near the edge that all have military bases on it, run by the Crown, warships on there, and nobody is allowed to independently explore Antarctica. You can go take a vacation in Antarctica on a boat. It'll cost you, minimum of $10,000. I think it's more than that. maybe $50,000, $60,000. You go for 3 days. You go right here to this peninsula. They show you some ice and some penguins. Maybe they'll bring you out here. They'll show you a ceremonial South Pole. There is no South Pole, just so you know. And then they send you out, and that's it. Nobody's allowed to independently explore out here. So what's out here in this outer space? We live here in this inner space. Maybe there's more land. Maybe there's more oceans out there. Maybe there's other continents out here with people on them, on the extra territory, extra terra. They would be considered extraterrestrials from the outer space. Okay? Right here, a couple thousand miles away. This is the Earth plane we live on. I'm going to throw it back to you guys for questions. So come up with your questions because I got 3 Bitcoins to give away. They tell us that in our world, once upon a time, there was nothing. It exploded and became everything. And then all of the rocks turned into planets and all the gases turned into stars. They left a vacuum in between, which is scientifically, physically impossible. And lightning struck and an amoeba happened and it turned into a monkey, which turned into a human, right? And all of these planets and stars are whirling and twirling. This is what you have to believe if you believe you live on a ball, that we're spinning. The spin of the Earth is 1,000 miles an hour. 1,000 miles an hour. So when you're watching the sunset, perfectly calm, you don't feel like you're moving. The sun is going down because you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. That's insanity. But it gets worse. Wait, there's more. We're orbiting the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. How fast is that? Well, I'm going to show you how fast that is. We're chasing the sun at over 500,000 miles per hour. Okay, so let me share my screen right here, and I'm going to show you the hypersonic rocket sled. Okay, here's the hypersonic rocket sled, and it's going to go by a Mach 8.6. Let me just pull that up. Here we go. Let's watch that again. Mach 8.6. You have to believe that we are orbiting the sun 10 times faster than that. And we are chasing the sun 100 times faster than that, right? All of that is going on. All of that is going on. Why, when you go out in nature, you see this. What is nature saying? Nature's saying, we're not moving one tiny bit, right? Get a dinner plate, fill it with water in a car that's going 100 miles an hour on a perfectly straight road, and have that car either speed up or slow down the tiniest bit or take a turn, the tiniest turn. And that water is going to slosh all over. But you have to believe that we're corkscrewing through space 10 and 100 times faster than that rocket sled in different directions, changing speeds all the time. And we have lakes that look like this. This alone proves that we are not moving. Are we done? Are you guys all flat earthers yet? Raise your hand if you think the earth is flat and not moving. Because we could be done right here. If you really think about it, we are done. But there's more. I've got everything. So I could go on and on. I'll go unless somebody has a specific question like, hey, what about boats over the horizon? What about Aristophanes with his sticks and shadows? What about sunsets over the ocean? What about seasons? Whatever you want to ask.
I just want to say
yes,
that to take a picture of a globe, you have to get very far out in the universe to have the ability to make that it is distant enough that you cover the whole.
I think it's 80,000 miles. But if you look at NASA, they're showing us pictures all the time, making people think that they're real, never saying that they're real, because NASA actually doesn't like to lie, but they're showing us. And now if you Google NASA's newest picture of Pluto, this is what they show us. Somehow Pluto they can get a picture of Pluto, and it has like a desert shaped like the dog Pluto. Okay. Now you say, oh, that's silly, Dave. That's silly. NASA and Disney are brother and sister. They work together. Okay. They work together. It's the same thing. Pluto the dog was created the same year that Pluto the planet was discovered. Okay. They're brother and sister. If you look at pictures that NASA shows us of the Earth, they're absolutely they absolutely prove that they're nonsense. 1978 picture of Earth, and in 2017, the news was showing this image, saying, "Look at what climate change has done. Look what the pollution has done. We're really bad. You know, climate change." Well, they forgot to change the clouds. Okay, somehow the clouds are the same on this, right? Now, are they that dumb, or do they do it on purpose? Which is something that, you know, there's a thing called I'm spacing on the name right now, but basically they can't break our free will. They always have to tell us the truth, so they tell us, and if we're too stupid to notice, then it's our fault. It's called revelation of the method. They're always telling us what they do. You know, when they showed us the original picture of Saturn, which is famous on National Geographic, but then they didn't realize that we're going to have access to Photoshop. We took this picture off of NASA's website, put it into Photoshop, cranked up the levels, and you can see that it was constructed crappily with different layers. Okay? We did the same thing with the shot of the Earth from the moon, right? Moon's far enough away to be able to see it. And let me see if I can find that real quick. That we took the picture, the supposed picture that they took of the moon, of the Earth from the moon, and we put it in Photoshop, cranked up the levels, and the same thing happened. There's a thing called photo forensics. I can find it. Where'd it go? Here it is. And that'll also show if something's been manipulated. So we did this live on YouTube, and then NASA changed the image afterwards. We took it, put it in Photoshop, cranked up the levels, and all of a sudden you'll see a box around here. They didn't even make it a PNG. I mean, this shows that this image was pasted into that photo. So all you have to do is really catch them lying once, and then, you know, basically that's it. Any other questions? I can go on to the next point, or somebody want to pop in and ask a question.
You mentioned the boat in the horizon, and that's still stuck in my mind. So if you just up that, so it's out there.
Very good. So Bill Nye, the lion guy with the bow tie, he tells us that if a boat goes beyond the horizon on a ball, it'll disappear on the bottom up, from the bottom up. He's 100% correct. That is true, but we don't live in Narnia on a ball. We live on a flat stationary plane, and there are other reasons that things disappear from the bottom up. So let me just find a quick example here. So here's a hallway. If I'm standing here and Samantha, you walk down around that corner, I can't see you anymore, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And if I had a telescope, could I zoom in on you? No, because I can't. You're behind this wall. So let me flip this over. So this is my smaller scale of the Earth. If you were beyond that, I can't point there, beyond it, no matter how strong my telescope is, I couldn't zoom in and see you, right? Because you're behind a physical horizon right here, right? Physical horizon. The horizon that we see on Earth is not physical, it's optical. And that's provable because out here, there's a boat, but you can't see it. So I'm zooming in and I'm increasing the angular size. And as I increase the angular size, a boat appears because our eyes have an angular resolution limit. Now watch, I'm going to zoom out, which is equivalent to the boat going away. And the boat's going to disappear from the bottom up for several reasons. One, angular resolution. Two, these waves in the foreground are bigger than the reducing boat in the background, and they block the boat from the bottom up. It's gone, but it's not gone. It's just gone from our vision. It's gone from our vision. So here is an example of angular resolution. There's a matchbox on this table, and as I zoom in, I increase the angular size and I could see the matchbox. And when I zoom out, it disappears because of angular resolution, because of the glare of the plane of the table, and it's gone. Now, if I stand up and look down, now I can see it because I've increased my angular view. So we did the same thing. We got a big Home Depot store here that we have in America. They have these cement floors that are really smooth and really long. And we took an iPhone camera and we put it down with the lens on the low side and put a red brick right in front of it, and it blocked the whole camera. And then we dragged the brick away, and it got smaller and smaller and smaller, right? And we dragged it away until you couldn't see it anymore. It's gone. Then we lift the camera up. There's the brick, and we can see the floor beyond the brick. Now we put 3 more bricks on top of that brick, put the camera back down. The bottom brick's missing. The top 3 are still there. And that's without any waves, any atmospheric issues. So that's and that's something you could do yourself. Here's a spot in Aluja, France. It's a famous viewing spot because out here is Mount Canigou, which is 175 miles away. According to Globe Math, the top of Mount Canigou should be over a mile. The top of Mount Canigou from this viewing position should be over a mile below the physical horizon if the Earth is a ball 24,901 miles around. This is not a physical horizon. This is an optical horizon. Well, twice a year, the sun migrates between the 2 tropics, which I'll show you in a moment. And twice a year, when it lines up with that viewing point, it backlights Mount Canigou, and you can see it because the sunlight reflecting off of Mount Canigou can't push through the atmosphere because it's not bright enough, but the sun is much brighter itself. It's like being in a very big swimming pool and looking at the far end of the pool. You can't see the wall. It's because the light bouncing off the wall isn't bright enough. But if you had a bright light in that wall, you might be able to see that farther, just like we can here. Here's Mount Canigou. The top of this mountain should be a mile below the curve. It's not. We can see it. We can see too far. We're not on a ball. We've been lied to our entire lives for a very good reason. A very good reason. So there's tons and tons and tons of things you can do. So this is when I first heard about flat Earth, I dismissed it. I was like, you're an idiot. I banned people from our social media, from our podcast for even suggesting that I look into it. But then I saw stuff like this. I'm like, wait a minute. Where's it going? Wait a minute. That should be under the curve from this distance, but I can see it, right? So I went out and bought a $1,000 camera, tripod. They have these super zoom cameras, the P900 and the P1000 made by Nikon. And I started zooming in on things that I should not be able to see. With my naked eye, I realized I live here in Connecticut. I see New York City, and there's a bridge in New York City. I shouldn't see the tops of the stanchions of this suspension bridge, but I can see underneath the deck.
So
with my naked,
yeah,
go ahead.
New York, they're not that far apart. So
25 miles.
How come you're not supposed to see that bridge?
I'll tell you why. Because the formula for a ball 24,901 miles around is 8 inches per mile squared. Now, that's easy, but they never taught you this in school. Most people are like, what? 8 inches? What does that mean? The first mile is 8 inches. Drop is 8 inches in 1 mile. That's the formula for the ball. Second mile is not 16 inches because that would be a ramp. The Earth is dropping off faster and faster. So you have to square the miles. So at 2 miles, it's 2 times 2 is 4 times 8 is 32 inches. At 3 miles, it's 6 feet. So globe math dictates that a 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of the water should see a physical horizon at 3 miles away, no farther than 3 miles. But we can see 10, 20 miles with our we can see way farther than that actually. But with our infrared cameras now, we're seeing things that would dictate. Ready? The radius of the Earth, they tell us, and nobody knows how they got it, so it's nonsense. From the center of the Earth to the surface is just about 4,000 miles. So here would be the curve of the Earth, right? If my arm is 4,000 miles, just short of 4,000. We see things that would dictate a radius of over 270,000 miles. That would mean that the Earth is a much bigger ball if you can't let go of your ball yet, or it just proves to you that we're stationary and flat. I want all of you tonight to go out, sit in your yard, sit on your porch, wherever, in a spot that you can remember, and draw a little chart of the stars that you see. All right, that one's near the corner of my house. That one's near that neighbor's chimney, and do it and write down the time, and then put an alarm in your calendar on this same day, same time for next year and every year. And then every time that alarm goes off, go outside and sit in that chair and look, and every single star will be in the exact same position. How is that possible? If we're corkscrewing through space, going 4.4 billion miles a year, never returning to the same space. All the other stars are moving in all of their directions, but somehow they reset every year to the exact same position. It's a lot to take in. Why the lie? Why are they lying? What about circumnavigation? What about, how do people circumnavigate the world? What about Amelia Earhart? Right? Do you guys get the Amelia Earhart story there?
What's
You know who Amelia Earhart is the first woman to fly around the world solo.
Oh, yeah, I thought about that because you can't fly from Australia to California, right?
You can fly from anywhere to anywhere because the earth is flat.
But
And
you can't when you buy an airplane ticket, you go all the long way around, right?
right. And there's a reason for that. Now, there are direct flights from Australia to Santiago, South America. But let's just look at some flight routes. Excuse me. So from Sydney to Peru, they go all the way up to Los Angeles and then all the way down. They cross the equator, is this blue line. They cross the equator twice. Why, if we're on a ball, the bottom half is the south, the top half is the north, the equator's around the middle. Any two locations in the north should never cross the equator, and any two locations in the south should never have to cross the equator, right? Zip, 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 zip. You'd never have to cross. But here, from these two southern locations, they cross the equator twice. Well, look at that on a flat Earth map. Kind of interesting. Okay? Same thing here. They go all the way up to Amsterdam and all the way back down, when in reality, this is the route that they take, right? What else do we got? These are the actual flight routes that they take. So, and sometimes NASA, the liars that they are in charge of radar. They're in charge of international plane routes, and they're in charge of GPS. So they're the ones controlling the situation. But sometimes an emergency happens. LA to Los Angeles, right about here, there was an emergency. Somebody was having a baby. Someone was having a heart attack. I don't remember which one it was, but they needed to land the plane. Control says, where would you tell them to land if they're right here? He's got to land right away. Someone's going to die. Hawaii, right? Or maybe California. I don't think you'd turn around and go back. But instead, they went thousands of miles out of the way to Alaska. Why did they go to Alaska? If you chart it on a flat Earth map, Taiwan, emergency, Alaska. Hawaii is all the way out here. Okay? This has happened 16 different times, and they've all been documented in this book. Free online. You can get the PDF online, or you can order it on lulu.com if you want the coffee table book. Just be wary, though. If you have people over for dinner or whatever, and they pick up that book, they become flat earthers, and then they're your problem. Okay, right? Excuse me. So there's the 16 landings alone prove that something's wrong. Okay, every one of them, every flight lands in a crazy place. But on a flat Earth map, it's on a straight line between the origin and the destination. Every single one of them. It's happened actually 17 times now that have been documented, but the book was made before the last one. So somebody tried to circumnavigate. First let's look at what circumnavigation is. The North Pole is at the center of our flat Earth. It's magnetic. Whatever's there, its compasses will point to it. I'm trying to push this compass west. You think west is a straight line, but it's not. It's a circle because that compass keeps making me turn to the right to head west. West is a circle. East is a circle. Remember, this compass always has to point to the center for me to dead reckon west. Dead reckoning west is a circle. Dead reckoning east is a circle. Now, if I want to go and not correct, I'm going to go west and I'm not going to adjust. I'm not going to turn to the right. I'm going south. Every direction away from the center is south. Every direction that you point, if it's a straight line, it will eventually be south. Now, if the Earth is a globe, I can go south and then I should pop up on the other side of the world. I should be able to go from Santiago and pop up over in Australia. Nobody's ever done it. Well, and they go, well, you're not allowed to fly over Antarctica because it's too dangerous and there's no airports there, and it would cost too much to, cool story. Cool story. Now, if I go north, I'm heading north, still going in a straight line. Uh-oh, now I'm heading south. Okay? Compass just did a 180 as I passed the North Pole. Every straight line goes south. So somebody a couple years ago was like, we're going to prove the Earth is flat. We're going to get the world record for southern circumnavigation. So let me find that. Southern circumnavigation. So they started up here. They went to Alaska, California, out to Hawaii, over here, these islands, Santiago. They got to the South Pole, and we're tracking them live. They're giving us updates. And they said, oh, the weather was too bad at the South Pole for them to continue. So they turned around and went up to Brazil. And we're like, oh, well, they didn't do it because the Earth is flat. And guess what? Guinness Book gave them the world record for southern circumnavigation. It's in the Guinness Book. This is all they did. They went here, they went here, they went here, they went here, they went here. They went around the lake, okay? They literally just went around the lake and did nothing, right? So the story of Amelia Earhart, which I was talking about before, she flew, solo all around the world. She just went east or west in a circle. That's all she did. If she actually did this, if it was true that she did this, this is it. Anybody could really do this. And this is a circle. This isn't a globe. It's a flat plane. Airplanes fly straight level over the Earth plane. The Earth plane, not the Earth globe. Sea's level, not sea curve, sea level. There's declassified documents from the FAA, from NASA, not that we can trust NASA at all, from military programs that say all of their modeling is done over a flat, non-rotating plane. That's directly out of their documents. They use all their modeling with a flat, non-rotating plane. This is just a video where I basically show these documents, and they're talking about a flat, non-rotating plane. What do you think about that? Samantha? Yeah, it is. And here's the thing. We are programmed from children, from childbirth, we're programmed to believe we live on a ball. You go to school, children's programming, Sesame Street, all the children's programming, it's all globe-based programming. They have astronauts on there. Walt Disney, astronauts on there. You go to school, globe in front of the class. One of the first worksheets a kid brings home is the orbits of the planets and the sun and the moon and all of that. And they have to figure out which one goes. They still do that now. It's all globe programming. Why the lie? Why are they going to all this effort? We're going to get into that. Okay. But first I want to just show you that the Earth is not a spinning ball and that NASA lies. And then we'll get into why the lie. Anybody yet? Any questions? Anyone have a proof of the globe? If people are standing there like, he's crazy or he's making a lot of good points, but I still think the Earth is a globe. You can't just say that. That's lazy. You have to come up with a reason you think the Earth is a globe. Does anybody have a reason that they think the Earth is a globe? Or even a question like, hey, doesn't, seasons prove the Earth is a globe or something? What do you got? I'll tell you what you got. You got nothing because there are no proofs of the globe. So it's really a bad question. And here's the thing. I have the total advantage here because I'm right. Okay. I know I'm right. I've done the research. The globe believers have a couple things in common. One, they have a false idea of what flat Earth is, and they have no idea what their own model is. They don't know their own model. They don't know the circumference, the radius, the speeds. They don't know any of it because you weren't taught that in school. You were taught to memorize and regurgitate, and whoever did that the best became the next teacher for the next generation, to memorize and regurgitate the Rockefeller-funded slave manuals, okay? Because they want us being a dumbed-down society where we're good little worker slaves and they can harvest our energy. This is all an energetic war, okay? They don't want you to know that you're at the center of creation. They don't want you to know that nobody has power over you. The only power someone has over you is in your imagination.
Agree to that. But it's scary when the police come knocking and they're right.
It is, but but they're mind control slaves also. You have to try to talk logic into them. This world is in a crazy, screwed up situation right now. And the way we got into this is because everyone is lost in space, spinning out of control. You guys have the movie The Matrix there with Keanu Reeves? Okay, so most of you, I assume, have seen it. Think about the first Matrix when Neo, when he is Mr. Anderson at that point, he's depressed. Something's wrong with the world. He hasn't figured. He's like, what? Something's wrong, and he's depressed. That is the state of human beings right now. People are depressed. Something's wrong. They don't know it. Okay, they're living their whole life that way. But the mind, the tell, lie, vision programming is programming your mind, keeping you in fear, filling you with nonsense, space fantasies everywhere, global network news, space, Star Wars, Star Trek, all of it. It's all to dilute your mind and take you away from your true power. And then at the end of the movie, Neo unplugs from the Matrix, right? Flat earthers have unplugged from the mind control of the television and all of the other nonsense, the news, which is steering your mind, okay? And we're taking our power back. And there's millions and millions and millions of us now, and it's growing faster and faster because once you see it, once you have the courage to put down your ego and look at the reality, then it all clicks together. And when I first started learning about it, I'm like, why the lie? Why they can't even keep a BJ in the White House a secret, with Clinton, right? They can't do anything. And, they can't keep a secret like this. And why would all the people be in on it? And all the scientists are lying and all the pilots are lying. No, they're not. They're just indoctrinated, right? They believe what they say because they haven't looked into it, because they've been trained from a young age to believe we live on a globe, and it's a core belief, and they don't even question it. Okay?
So,
go ahead.
Question. How does this knowledge contribute to me being more happy in my life? And the reason I'm asking that is because what I see in my own group of sovereign people and in my own experience is that you think there's a path to freedom by knowing all of this, but it doesn't make you more free. There's nothing I can do actually with this knowledge to make my life happier. My life was actually more simple when I was a capitalist. Now I got to go to court. I got to go all these things that actually take me away from my divine work that I'm really creating that I was before, because I never listened to the news before either. Now I certainly don't do that. But so that was probably the question I'm sitting thinking. I don't know what about the audience, the other audience.
Yeah. So no, I got it. And I was right there with you. You're somebody else have a question? Okay. So the answer is it totally changes it. Before this, now there's a lot of people that believe in a creator, and that's fine. Whatever your religion is, that's fine. I'm not judging any religions. You believe in a creator. I used to laugh at the idea of a creator. Anyone that mentions a creator and any, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, whatever, you're off my list of people because you're a crazy religious fanatic. And then when I discovered that the earth is flat, it's not the shape that matters. It's that we're not from a big bang in an impossible heliocentric, space vacuum universe, which is just nonsense.
That's nice because it's a scary feeling. So
they want you to believe you're a speck floating through space. An asteroid could take you out at any moment. You can't have, we'll get into it, but you can't have a high pressure gas system in a zero pressure vacuum of space. None of it makes any sense. It's all provably impossible. Okay. Well, what about gravity holding on to the air? That's the dumbest crap ever. Okay. And we can prove it. But getting back into why does it matter? How does it change my life? It changed my life incredibly. First, I discovered there is a creator. Okay. That's life changing. And then I also discovered, you know what? I don't have to be afraid of all of these controlment, the mind, all these mind control agencies out there, because there's a little secret that they're not allowed to break your free will unless you agree to it. Okay. Like when you sign your, here in America, when you fill out your 10W40 or whatever it's called, the tax form, then you owe that money because you just wrote a contract saying you owe that money. Okay. Right. It's all good.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying everything is by, they tell us again and again and again. And if we don't say no, that's us saying yes. Right. So when you just say, no, you're not going to tell me to do that. I'm not going to listen to you. You don't have power over me. I am at the center of creation. And guess what? I used to believe that, everything is this physical world and you got to work hard and you got to save your money and you got to climb up the ladder. It doesn't work that way. This world, for lack of a better word, is a magical place. Your thoughts create, you listen to that word, create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And when you plant your feet on a stationary ground and you realize that you are part of this living system, you start to take your power back. Here's a little example. For those of you that meditate, this will work great. And those of you that don't, you can still do this. Go outside in nature on a nice day and imagine what I showed you the earth is doing. So sit down, get nice and comfortable, and imagine that you are spinning, falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. You're orbiting 10 times the speed of that rocket sled. You're chasing the sun in a curved path at 100 times the speed of that rocket sled, and you could slam into an asteroid at any moment, right? And you're going to get an upset stomach. You might even fall over, and you're just not going to feel well. Then shake that off, get a drink of water, go back down, sit down, and say, I'm sitting on a motionless, stable plane that can never move. All my senses tell me that it's flat and stationary, and you're safe within the system, and that you have incredible power, and that you're grounded to this earth. Okay. All of a sudden, your spirit will lift up, your mind will open up, and your soul will be going, yes, I've been screaming this at you for so long, but your brain has been lost in the outer world. Your conscious mind has been distracted. The real currency of this world is not money. Money is just a fake system that they control us with. They don't need money. They create money out of thin air. Monopoly money, right? The true currency is your soul, right? Oh, here he goes. He's one of those new agers. No, I'm not. It's your soul. They want your soul, and they're trying to fish it away from you using the soul lure system, okay? They're luring your soul away with this nonsense, this godless, infinite, this horrible, satanic universe, right? If you look, you know how they use signs and symbols and numbers. 6 times 60 times 666 is the distance to the moon. The diameter of the Earth is 6 times 6 times 60. Sunset, it's all sixes. This is all of this stuff. It's a satanic model. Okay. Who created it? I don't know, man. Maybe the devil, whoever that is, or whatever that is, whatever inherent evil is. Okay. Crazy stuff, right?
It's crazy stuff. I have a question. I was interested after I saw The Lost History of the Flat Earth, and I got this book by Edgar.
You watched The Lost History of Flat Earth, 5 hours, right?
Dr. Edgar Mitchell, 6 human beings to walk. Oh, it actually says to walk on the moon. So what about the people that say they've been into space? Because this guy actually has some sensible things to say, and he's looked at the Earth from space. Is he lying, or did he conceive it to be that he saw Earth from space?
Let me ask you a question. Did these guys just get told that their dogs died, or did they just come back from the most amazing adventure where they landed on the
moon? Because I don't believe it that anybody's walked on the moon. But what about the
Right.
people who saw the Earth from space?
Nobody has. Nobody's ever been up into space. Nobody's ever gone up in a rocket. And it's kind of funny that,
What
here
did they go in and do they lie deliberately, or did they have an experience?
so all astronauts, I call them actronauts. They're all liars. Okay. Buzz Aldrin, right? The guys that land on the moon, they have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's where all the actors have their stars. There's one that has the Apollo mission guys on it. They got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why do they have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Because they're actors. Buzz recently on the late night show, Conan O'Brien, Conan was talking about him being on the moon. He goes, yeah, I saw you on the moon. He goes, Buzz goes, no, you didn't. He goes, what do you mean? I saw you on TV. He goes, we didn't have television cameras up there. We weren't transmitting anything. He goes, you saw an animation. That's them backtracking. They're moving the globe post again and again because we keep pushing forward and we prove, they're like, well, you could see the curvature from an airplane, and then we prove that you can't because we sent a balloon up to 120,000 feet and it's perfectly flat and stationary. Okay, the Earth isn't spinning out from under.
That's a real picture, right?
That's a real picture. Yes.
So maybe Dr. Edgar Mitchell, that I'm just looking at, I don't know if you can see this book.
Yeah, I see it.
Because he seems pretty sensible in what he's saying, because he's talking about, Einstein and everything.
He's a liar. I'm sorry. He's a liar. All of the astronauts are liars, right? They train for their dives in pools, and they show us this. We catch them.
Because it makes sense when you see it.
We catch them. On an airplane, the horizon, you can look out the left window of an airplane and the right window of an airplane. You'll see the horizon, draw a line. It goes right at eye level. It's there. There's the horizon, but it should be 78,000 feet below you. From a cruising altitude, the horizon should be 78,000 feet below you. 78,000 feet. That would be down. It wouldn't be at eye level. Earth plane rises to your eye level. Okay. Yeah. And this is how easy this.
It's for me that people actually lie. It's. I don't have the imagination.
This is how they get away with it. People are good. You have a soul that you've maintained control of, right? Your soul is, I don't know, you have pure soul. And
he believes into space.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I think the only person that believes they went to space maybe is Don Pettit, but that's because he's just mentally out there. If you look at the people that thousands of people apply to be astronauts, and then they pick the dumbest guys ever. Listen to any of them talk. And they have glitches. Right? This is a green screen glitch, right? They have wire glitches. This guy, though, something gets screwed up on his wire. This guy grabs the wire, right? All of this stuff happens all of the time. These guys were flipping they're always flipping their mic around and flipping their hat around. And way in the background, this guy goes floating by. I zoomed in on him, and look, he's wearing a harness.
What's a harness?
He's wearing a waist harness. He's hanging from wires.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then NASA, their response is from the NASA fanboys is, oh, they wear harnesses for safety. What? Well, we've never seen them wear how does that even work? How you would just get tangled in your wires. Zero G.
Gravity.
Yeah. So they're manipulating objects in free space. His hat here, this isn't real. His hat's not real. And in the script, this guy is supposed to pass it to this guy, and then the guy puts it over on the wall, but he moves his right arm. He thinks he's passing him the hat, and he grabs it and tries to put it away. Okay? Because he's looking at a screen behind the camera or a contact lens that's showing him where these virtual reality objects are.
Anything? Why haven't they spilled their secret? Like, I wouldn't be able to keep a secret for that long. Do they shoot
because actually there was a Polish astronaut just a year or two ago that was on an interview, and someone said, hey, some people think the Earth is flat. What do you say to that? And he was having like a bad day, and he goes, yeah, the Earth is flat. I could assure you the Earth is flat. Okay. And now he's gone, right? There's our whistleblowers out there, but the pilots, they lose their jobs if they mention the Earth is flat. Astronauts, what?
Some pilots know this, or all pilots know this.
A lot of pilots know it. More and more of them know it. let me go into my app and I'll show you. We can show you a couple more things, and then we'll take it from there. So
Gravity does exist. So gravity is there, right? I
gravity.
towards the earth, right? When I drop it.
Well, that Neil deGrasse Tyson proved it by dropping a mic, or did he prove that that mic is denser than the air surrounding it?
No,
So
for me here on Earth, or like me.
yeah. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson did a little rap on one late night show, and he dropped his mic, and that doesn't prove anything. So here's how gravity works. Gravity is just a theory. Neil deGrasse Tyson, when asked what's gravity, he goes, "We don't know." He goes, "We don't know what it is. All we know is that we can measure it, and it's a weak force." But here's the thing. Gravity doesn't work without 96% of it being dark matter and dark energy. What's dark matter and dark energy? Dark matter and dark energy is the stuff that makes up 96% of the gravity in the universe, but we can't see it. But it has to be there for gravity to work. That's like getting 96 questions wrong out of 100 and passing an exam, okay? They made up dark matter and dark energy. How does it work? Our sun and the moon are the cathode and anode of our free energy system. The salt water carries the current. The land is a salt bridge. If you know about batteries, that makes up our battery. There is a flow of energy from our positively charged sky to our negatively charged, non-moving Earth. When a particle leaves the Earth, a human, a rock, whatever, it is attracted to that negative base of the Earth, testable, measurable base of the Earth. And so it's like, okay, down is this way. It's a very weak force. It's just like, it's very light force. Hey, down is this way. And then buoyancy and density sort everything else out. If I had in my hands a bunch of marbles, ping pong balls, and a helium balloon, and I held them over a pool, and a pool of water, and I opened my hand, the balloon's going to go up because it's less dense than the air around it. The marbles and the ping pong balls are going to go down because they're more dense than the air. The ping pong balls are going to sit on top of the water because they're less dense than the water. And the marbles are going to go to the bottom because they're more dense than the water, period. It's buoyancy and density, and the downward direction is towards Earth, right? Point down. Everybody point down. We're all pointing down. Everybody point up. We're all pointing up. But if I say point left or right or forward or back, we're all pointing in different directions, okay? Up and down are up and down because the Earth is flat, right? Someone in Australia is not like this talking to me, right? You guys are maybe, I don't know, you guys are at the same latitudes I am. That's not it. Down is down, right? And so, you Google gravity, flat Earth, and they'll show you the video that'll come up is like walking. If the Earth was flat, as you walk away, you'd have to start leaning forward. When you get to the edge, you could stand on the edge sideways. No, gravity doesn't pull you to the center, right? Think about this. If you believe you live on a ball, everyone's feet are pointing towards the center of the Earth, okay? So that molecule, let's break the Earth up into individual atoms. That one atom that's at the center of the Earth goes, hey, everyone come to me. Everyone be attracted to me. What if there was like another atom, like another Dave Weiss kind of atom, and it was halfway through the center and halfway between the center of the Earth and the crust, and I say, no, everybody come to me. Why wouldn't they be attracted to me? Why does the one at the center get designated for the gravity? It's ridiculous, okay? There's, bridges, canals, city planning, nothing uses curvature. They never factor in curvature when building railroads, when building tunnels. A tunnel should pop up out of the Earth if they don't keep curving it down, but they build these massive tunnels. They build the Suez Canal 100 miles. There should be over a mile of curvature. Over a mile of curvature. And it's not. It is flat, plain Earth.
It's interesting.
Now, I'm not even going to ask the question. I'm just going to tell you because they're hiding the creator. And I say the creator because if I say God, people that have an aversion to religion or whatever, I'm not saying anything. there's a creator. This place is created. It's created for us. We are powerful beings. What's that?
By us, created by us, for us, and by us.
Great. We are part of God. That soul in us is a piece of God. And our job here is to expand the mind of God and to have this adventure in this physical simulation, I call it. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like a physical simulation. We're really here. We're not in a video game, but it is like a video game where we're here incarnated in these beat suits, having this incredible experience. It's amazing. And so how does flat earth change my life? I realize there's nothing to be afraid of. It's literally, I look at the world like a game, and like, what can I do to help others, right? And I do this. I walked away from my own company, making tons of money, walked away from it all to do this. And somehow the universe has answered, like allowed me to do this, has made it so I can do this at an amazing way. So, how does it change your life? It changes life. If one person can change everything, but more people together, the Maharaji effect, you get all people together, all of our minds together. Together, we're powerful. What are they trying to do right now? They're trying to separate us. They've got us locked in our houses, working from home, stay 6 feet apart, be afraid of everybody, right? They're separating, cover your face so we can't have verbal communications. The micro expressions on your face while I talk to you are telling me more than your words are. Okay. They're separating all of that. And now they want to put us into the metaverse. Have you looked into that? I mean, with the friggin' Facebook virtual reality, they literally are trying to plug us into the matrix. It's the matrix is becoming a documentary. And if people don't wake up soon, we're going to go into a huge time of darkness. Right. There's a lot of things that are happening in this world right now that are because we're allowing it to. So what can you do? You can wake up, you can put your big boy pants on, realize that you've been lied to your entire life, and do something about it. I'm doing something about it. I'm waking up millions of people. What's that?
I love your work. I didn't know about you. I'm a big fan. Are you able to not pay taxes? Because I have clients or people in my network that are trying out sovereignty, and then they just increase the tax. So we have guys here that say, I can help you not pay back your student loans, and I make mortification in a sentence, and it doesn't work. It works for the guy selling the idea that you could avoid paying tax or paying back your student loans, but for the actual person who paid for the papers, it's not working. So in practicality in Denmark, but this is what I'm experiencing right now, and I may be losing faith in real freedom, is that there is no way to really beat the system. How can I own a property? Because my property is in my straw man's name or straw woman, and they can take it. Right now, they're sending me the court papers that they can actually take it. I may be able, because I trained lawyer and so forth, I may be able to avoid it or postpone it, but in reality, they can come and take it, and I don't see any way out to really own property.
I'm not familiar with how other countries' tax laws work, but there are a lot of people here in the United States that have figured out ways. Look at all the rich people, and all the rich people, they've got their foundations, they've got all this stuff. It's all just tax shelters.
That's what
it's all. System. Yeah, but there are ways to do it. I'm not the expert on that. There's a lot of people. I would listen to go check out the Dollar Vigilante. They've got some tax experts on there. Listen to their stuff, and then you can figure it out from there.
Okay. But it helped you to set yourself free on your own and walk.
Yeah, away. I mean, I work. This is what I do. I talk to people like you for a living. This is fantastic. Well, how do I make a living off of it? Let me tell you. And here's the thing. It's never about the money. So you have my app, right? Did you know that's my app?
Nope.
You have this app, right?
Nope.
Wait, did you just show it to me on your phone? Or
no, that was in an ebook, Dr. Edgar Mitchell's ebook.
Oh, okay. So this app is called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. This app will get you beyond the Google censorship and show you how the flat Earth works. It's an amazing resource. It's $3. Okay. So if you don't, I say don't spend the $3. Just go read the reviews in the App Store and the Google Play Store, and then you'll end up spending the $3. But the app, if you Google flat Earth, you're going to get, try Google a whole bunch of different terms with flat Earth in it, and you'll get the same results every time, which is all government propaganda, straw man. You got Simon Dan, who's just a snarky, straw manning guy that makes weekly videos. You get the first one you get is Professor Dave. He's not a professor, he's an actor, and everything he says is a straw man argument. It's ridiculous. But this app will bypass it. And here's the thing. I give my 3 Bitcoin challenges. Watch the featured video every day. Every day there's a featured video down here. And just click that and watch the video every day for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, if you still think the Earth is a globe, send me your one proof. But before you do, you have to hit this question mark. And when you hit the question mark, up come all the questions that you're going to ask. Hey, we talked about we can see too far. Or what about eclipses? What about seasons? I'm going to show you about seasons in a second. But if I click like ships over the horizon, I'll click that. And up comes a playlist that YouTube doesn't want you to see. These videos are amazing. And then you can go out and do it yourself, right? Watch these videos. And this is what turned me into a globe denier. I don't want to say flat earther, but now I'm full on flat earther, right? Mm-hmm. What is our, do we have an exact model, a map? Absolutely not. But we have more than the globe does. We have way more.
What about the water on top of the realm that you hear about in the lost history of the flat earth, that there's water all around the dome?
Yeah. So what is the dome? Is the dome a physical dome? Is it a pressurized dome? If you think about it, if you look at here, let's go here. If you look at I'm just trying to find a model. Should have it in here. The dome, think about this. If you watch a pot of water boil and you look at the bottom, you see those bubbles on there. Now put yourself as a little tiny person inside that bubble. You're standing on a flat surface. You have a dome over your head, non-physical, and there's water above you, right? Think about this. When do we get huge rain? When do we get tons of rain, like in a hurricane? When the pressure is low. Low pressure allows the water to come in, okay? You ever been in a hurricane? Rivers of water are coming out of the sky. Where are they coming from? Were they floating in the sky before they decided to fall? Okay. This is all about pressure and the world we live in. I believe that space is water. If you listen to NASA, everything they talk about in space is done in nautical terms. Ships, docking, the sea, the sea of tranquility. They're all talking about nautical terms.
So okay? it's like a power energy that just holds the water up.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. In here, if you go to what about Antarctica, there's lots of stuff about the dome in there. You click that, up comes a playlist of videos again that you won't find. Sky Ice, an amazing video, right? And you'll learn all about Antarctica. And sorry, Antarctica's closed. That's a great one. That'll show you why you can't explore Antarctica. It'll save you'll like, I want to go to Antarctica. I'm going to apply. And you could spend months and months and months. And then you'll realize it's going to cost you like $200,000 to apply. And then a year later, they'll say, sorry, we're not granting your permission. And they keep you $200,000. I mean, that's how they keep Antarctica from being explored.
And when you're in the app, it's the little peninsula. That makes sense.
Yeah. There's tons of other stuff in the app. Tons of stuff. Biblical flat earth down there on the bottom. Mud floods on the right. Lost history of flat earth. I highly recommend people watch that. Parts 1 through 7. A new part just came out. The second one down, volume 2.1.
It's a great place to start. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a great place to end. It's starting. It might be too much.
This is the first one I saw. I never heard about this before I saw that one.
Yeah. So you go there. Also, books. Again, there's my there's the book for the emergency landings. If you're religious, this is my co-host built that one. All sorts of stuff. Kids books. So the new one that's just added in there. Great little kids book.
David, how did it all start? If it wasn't God and it wasn't Big Bang, how did it all start? Well,
let me just finish in the app so I can jump back on the screen. So right here, this is how the sky works. The sky is a perfect clock. Right? The sun is where it's noon. Wherever the sun is, it's noon. And if you look at the circles on this map, the inner yellow one is the Tropic of Cancer. Everybody's heard of that. Mm-hmm. And the outer one is the Tropic of Capricorn. Do you know when the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer?
No, I don't know.
The sun is over the Tropic of Cancer in June 21st, the summer solstice. May, February, March, April, May, June. So in June, the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer. And that's when we, in the inner north, have our summer. Okay. We live in the inside of the Tropic of Cancer. This is as close as the sun gets to us. Okay. Here in America, I live in Connecticut, right? It gets pretty warm in the summer, but not as hot as Miami. Miami, it's super hot. You know why? Because the sun
Oh, the
goes
sun's right over.
directly over them. It
Mm.
goes directly over them. Mexico, hot, right? Southern California, hot, right? At the same time, Santiago, cold because they're in their winter. Australia, cold because the sun is far away from them. But 6 months later, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sun migrates out to the Tropic of Capricorn, and I'm cold. You're cold because the sun is far away from us. Australia, they're having their summer because the sun is directly over them. If you and I were outside on a cold, cold day and we're 20 feet apart, we're sitting in chairs, it's freezing outside, and somebody had a big stick and they were holding a heat lamp 10 feet over your head, a big giant heat lamp, you'd be like,
But
the
what
sun
happens
is.
at nighttime, David?
What's that?
What happens at nighttime when the sun sets?
I will explain that, but we're doing seasons right now. So you have the sun directly over you and it's hot, but I'm looking at that heat lamp and it's low in the sky. It's over there. It's low and it's far away. I can't feel it. Then they bring it over to me at the same height and you watch it. It gets lower in the sky. It gets farther away. It's your winter. It's my summer now. That's exactly how the summer and winter work here. The whole tilted ball thing is ridiculous. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what is the sun doing to us in the Arctic area? So we're in the Arctic center and the sun, I'll speed it up. The sun is arcing around us. You'll see that sun is catching up to the moon. The sun laps the moon every 28 days. Okay. So the moon phases and position keeps track of the weeks and the months. Right. So the sun is arcing, Arctic. But if we were out here outside of the Tropic of Cancer, I'm a Capricorn, we're in the Antarctic region. Well, the sun isn't arcing around us. It's coming to and fro. It comes towards us and away. It's antarcing. Antarctic versus the Arctic. They're talking about the sun. Okay. And the weather is very different. The life is very different at the same degrees on the inner north and the same degrees in the outer south. On a ball, they should be the same 6 months apart, but they're not because that's not how the world is set up. So the stars also, as I was talking about, the stars do the same thing. They lap the sun once a year. So they're going slightly faster than the sun. As you can see, the sun is working its way out of this constellation, and this one will catch up. And it'll be in this constellation for a month, and then this one, and then this one. And next year, same day, we'll be right back to where we are, where the sun is in whatever constellation it's in. All right. So that's how that works. And then let me just show you one more thing, and I'll get out of the app.
It's really interesting.
The handshake button right here. This is called the Flat Earth Friend Finder. And this shows you, let me zoom out a little bit. All of these blue dots are all of the people that have the app that are just near me.
Amazing.
Right? So wait, where are you?
Now the government knows how to find us.
Are you
Take us
in
over.
Norway? Are you in Norway?
Close, Denmark.
Denmark.
Close.
And Denmark. Bam. There you go. Government already knows where you are. They don't need my app to find you.
I agree.
Okay. So here are the people in Denmark. Now I can tap on one of those dots and I could send that person a message. I'm like, hey, you're just 5 miles from me. Let's meet at the bar and grill and talk about how this deception is going on. These are all like-minded people.
Amazing.
People are already getting married because of this app, right? People are finding each other. People are messaging each other and new friends, new groups. People, and here's the thing: every dot on that map is
Could you make
somebody.
it if it's female or male?
Well, it depends on what the person puts. It depends on what the person puts. That one, no, flat, they name themselves. You can message them and start a dialogue. But here's the thing: whether they're female or male, you have more in common with that person, and they end up being your best friend. Every flat earther I met is my new best friend. It's because we're all thinking alike. Now people are like, oh my God, it's tracking me, right? You can change it. This button up here, this shows that your exact location. This one puts you in a random place within 5 miles of where you are. And this one just takes you right off the map. So if you're worried about privacy, feel free to obscure your location. But here I am, and I've set the location for 50 kilometers, okay? So that I can still see everybody. When I zoom out, this inner circle, hold on, let's see. This circle is 50 kilometers. And I can send a message up here. There's 218 people within that. I can hit that, and I can send them all a message. Hey, we're having a flat Earth meetup at the so-and-so bar and grill Saturday at 2 p.m. Come one, come all. And now I just reached out to 218 flat earthers, and I bet you 175 of them show up.
Wow. I just want to thank Yen, who's listening, called Rui6. Thank you so much for putting me in contact with David. You really know the most amazing people. This is amazing that you've made this.
Right.
Wow.
And you can see right here, I have 2 messages. So if I click that, 2 people have messaged me. It might just be me because this is literally pretty new and I've tested it myself, but I'm getting messages all the time. So you just let it load. It takes a couple seconds. It's not the fastest messenger in the world, but there it is. I have two that somebody else has messaged me. So
Amazing.
yeah. And then you can do all sorts of different things. And then it comes with probably one of the best weather apps. And you know, to have this weather on your phone, I think they charge you $3 a month for that. It comes with the app. The app's $3. Let me just be clear on something. The app's $3, one-time charge, and you get everything, including the friend finder. But you, if you want to be able to send messages, it's $11 a year or 99 cents a month. Okay, you're buying me a margarita and you forgot to tip the bartender. Okay, so you don't have to subscribe. Other people can send you messages. Like, let's say you're there and someone, you'd say, hey, I'm having a meetup. Here's the address and everything. And I get that message. I'm like, oh, I'll go. I don't even need to respond because I don't want to spend the 99 cents. Fine. But if you, most people, you know, a lot of people subscribe, and the messaging that's going on, the people that are meeting up, the stories that I'm hearing, from marriages to new best friends, even before the group messaging, a group in Arizona, 30 people met, and now they meet every other week. What's that?
Because of your app.
Because of my app. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Right? And so am I an app developer? Well, now I am. I wasn't before, right? But guess what? I created it with my mind. I literally manifested this thing. This is the highest rated app in the App Store. Everyone loves it. And, you know, even with the trolls going after it, trying to give it 1 stars, they're not going to do it because they don't want to spend $3 to give me 1 star.
You're doing it in the Apple App Store.
It's in the Apple App Store. It's in the Google Play Store. And next week, it'll be in the Amazon App Store also.
So I think that's a good point, because you got to be in the system to be part of everything. You can't just be ignoring App Store. And so it's interesting.
I'm using their system against them, right? We're using, so people are like, you're tracking. I'm not tracking anything, right? You can obscure your location, right? You can do whatever you want. You can turn it off. You don't even have, you can even remove that feature from your app if you don't even want it on your app. You can remove it in the settings, turn it off, get it off, get that button off my screen. Okay. If you're worried about government tracking you,
I was just kidding.
let me tell you a little secret. They're already tracking you, and they don't need my app.
I want to be found. I'm happy. They're watching me. I want to be
Yeah.
seen. I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go.
On all my calls. I always talk to them on the calls and say thank you for listening.
So, I honestly, anybody, like when I see a new blue dot in my area and they're popping up all the time, I message that person. I'm like, meet me at the Joe's Coffee Shop in Old Greenwich, whatever it is, and bam, new best friend. Every single one of them, we all have so many things in common. It's phenomenal. It's the greatest tool ever. And if it wasn't my app, I'd be talking about it the same way. But luckily, fortunately for me, it is my app.
I love it. And that's the best that's come out of this. I was just a normal capitalist lawyer. And then I read the new law and I went, wait a minute. And now I meet all these incredible people. And that's the best thing that's ever come out of it. I don't know if you can avoid paying taxes or car insurance. It's not going very well for me. But
well, change your attitude and figure it out.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly.
there's all different ways to do all different things, and that's something you got to figure out.
But the people are amazing, and it's like, yeah, it's just great.
Before we wrap it up, does anybody have a question? If raise your hand if you think the Earth is a ball, and if anyone is thinking of raising their hand, tell me why. Tell me why, because I missed something, right? Why the lie? Why would they do this, right? There's not that many people lying about it. The elite know, okay? There's a lot of big celebrities that know, and we've talked to many big celebrities that they're like, yeah, well, I can't come out because then they lose all their income, right?
So interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if everybody fell asleep.
Well, it's a lot to take in. Come on, jump on board. I'm sure you have questions. So the sun that goes around, that's 24 hours that you're seeing, right? When we see it go like that, that's every 24 hours. That's night and day.
I got it. You asked me about sunsets.
Yeah, but that's night and day, right? So when you see the sun go around in your clock, that's just one day.
It's one day, yeah. One circle around goes around in one day. So how come we can't see the sun all the time? And the answer is because it goes away and it gets blocked by the atmosphere. The sun's light can't push sideways through the atmosphere because the atmosphere becomes opaque. So here's my flat Earth kitchen. My counter is flat. This is the path that the sun makes, this level line. Is that line level? Looks level, right? It is level. And I'm moving the sun across it. Now, this could be a city skyline. It could be mountains. It could be a cloud deck. It's opaque. I'm above it. I never go below it. Now, I have a camera on the other end of the counter watching this thing go away on the level of the counter down here, low. Okay? Now, if I showed you this first, I'd say, is this line level? And you would say, no, it's going down. And I'd say, is this sun going below this opaque barrier, which appears to be at my it appears to be eye level.
But it has that glitter thing, so it makes total sense that it's the atmosphere.
Yeah, but it appears to be at eye level when we know that it's lower. Now let's compare this to a real sunset. Okay, so here's a sunset. The sun went away like this. Now it's not going behind this horizon. It's going behind this atmospheric deck of opacity. Okay, that could be a mountain range. It's just the thickness of the clouds, and it goes away just like this goes away. This is a level line, but your brain is telling you, no, that's not level. It's not. It's not, right? So here's another view of the sun. My drone, it's below freezing, super clear, no humidity, looking west across America, so I'm not over the water. No humidity. In 5 minutes' time, the sun went from up here, went down, down, down. Now, if we were spinning, it would have to keep on going at the same pace, but it didn't. It went down, 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 it slowed down, and then it stopped. And it sat here for 10 minutes. Now, this is really sped up. It never dropped down. It just couldn't push through anymore. Here it is again. It just couldn't push through because the atmosphere was too thick. This was a perfectly clear day. And it sat here for 10 minutes before it disappeared.
When was this?
I did it 7 different times. Okay. In the app, What About Sunsets? They're all in there. You can find them. My YouTube channel is DITRH, the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Okay. And I have all short videos. Look up my playlist called Sun Fade Outs. They're all there. Right. And the globe trolls will go, we'll get a solar filter. Well, I did it with a solar filter once and the sun disappeared because it's blocking out all the light. Then I took it down, took the filter off, put the thing back up, and there's the sun, put the drone back up, and there's the sun again. Okay? A solar filter blinds you. That's why they give out solar filters during eclipses, right? Right? They give you those glasses to wear because they don't want you looking at the eclipse. Yeah. I stare without sunglasses at eclipses. They don't want you looking at eclipses.
I heard someone say that as a child, someone told her, don't stare at the sun, it's dangerous. And she goes, no, it's good for me.
It's actually good for you. You get it gives your body nutrients. It makes your eyes better. I'm not telling anyone to go stare at the sun. You have to, I'm a sun gazer, so I'm good at staring at the sun for long periods of time. And you got to do that grounded. But when you watch a solar eclipse, it's life-changing. It's really life-changing. and they don't want you looking at it. They want you in fear. They don't want you to see this special thing that's happening in the sky. Okay?
When I read to the kids about the Big Bang, I really got scared that I was so small. I remember they even picked up on my fear and my scaredness, and they got scared.
Yes. So
Bang is
we're
scary.
not insignificant. So here's the thing. If you believe you're insignificant, if you believe that you evolved from pond scum, if you believe that you're on a speck with infinite specks in an infinite universe in a vacuum where an asteroid could take you out, where we're running out of water. No, we're not. There's infinite water. We're running out of food. That's ridiculous. You could stick a seed in the ground that's 100 years old and food will grow out after water falls from the sky. Okay. Everyone in America, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Everyone in America could live in Texas and have a half an acre. Okay. Right. Texas is just a little piece of America. Right. It's ridiculous. Okay. The amount of space there is, the amount of food that there is, there's no fuel shortage. There's just a technology shortage where they're hiding free energy. Look into Tartari. You watch the Lost History of Flat Earth, talks about all that antiquitech with free energy systems. We're not at the pinnacle of civilization. They've got us in the middle of the movie Idiocracy. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a documentary at this point. Okay. So what I'm saying is take your power back, right? Here's the thing. What's my name, Samantha?
I was taking notes.
What's my name?
David.
What's my name?
David.
What's my name?
David.
Do you believe that or do you know it?
I see it on the screen.
Do you believe that's my name or do you know it's my name?
Oh, I believe it. I don't know it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what would it take? Now, belief, all right, you're done. If you have a solid belief that that's my name, you're done. You can go take a nap. You can go drink beer. You can go watch Netflix and have your mind melted even further. Or you could say, all right, let me research this frigging guy. And you could spend a day researching and go, yeah, I'm pretty sure his name's David. Okay. Now you spend a whole day. Belief, as Crow 777 Radio says, belief is the enemy of knowing. Belief is easy. Knowing takes time, thought, effort, and energy. And I like to know, right? I know what I believe. I believe that the earth is flat. Wait a minute. I thought you knew the earth was flat. I believe it's flat. I'm fairly confident it's flat, but I know it's not a spinning ball through an infinite space vacuum.
I know
that's impossible.
Flat. It can't be flat and round at the same time. That was my big revelation with all of this. I don't care either way it is. I just know it. There is a
round. Can a pizza be round and flat at the same time? Use the proper terms. It can't be spherical.
Exactly.
Spherical.
It is round, it's just flat and round.
Here's the thing. Before this, anyone that hasn't looked into flat earth, you were ignorant. I was ignorant. We were all ignorant to the idea of a flat earth. We were brainwashed. We were sold a story and we believed it because the guy in a bow tie and a white lab coat told us. Because our teachers backed them up on it.
The guy that said it was flat and like, you could walk off the earth. Like that's what's stuck in my mind always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's mind programming. That is, people like, oh, well, if the earth was flat, cats would push everything off the edge. How come no one's seen the ice wall? Well, here's the ice wall. It's not the ice wall. It's the shoreline of our world. And it's known as Antarctica. It's the highest land on earth. And it goes on for unknown distances. It's the container of our pond. You don't live on the outside of a spinning ball with water and air next to a space vacuum. That's ridiculous. Okay? People go, well, the gravity holds the air on and the air gets thinner and thinner and thinner until there's no more air because of gravity. So that means if I had an open shoebox in a room and I sucked all of the air out of the room, all of the air in the box would stay there because gravity is going to hold it there and the room would be a vacuum. That's ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything about the heliocentric model, when you think and stop believing, makes no sense whatsoever. No sense. And here's the thing. You go tell someone the earth is flat, they're going to go, what about this? What about Aristophanes and his sticks and shadows? Once you look into all of that stuff, you'll see that it makes no sense. What about, they can't all be like, what about the Challenger, the space shuttle Challenger, all of those astronauts that died? Remember that?
Nope.
So in America, 1980s, they launched the Challenger and there was a school teacher on there and all this stuff. And they actually had televisions for the first time in everyone's class. In all of the schools.
Oh, and it burned.
And it blew up. Well, somehow we found identical twins to all of the others. All 6 of them have identical twins. They all work for universities.
Great jobs.
They all work for universities. And none of them showed up at their siblings' funerals.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
Wow. Well,
Fascinating.
I just love the fact that I heard Mark Pasio say that humanity's greatest fear is that truth is absolute. And I just love the fact that the world cannot be a globe and flat at the same time. Not everything is relative. It's either or sometimes.
Well, Mark Pasio is an amazing guy for freedom. He hasn't looked into flat Earth yet. He is mind programmed and he refuses to look at it because he's so busy doing the other great work that he's doing. I'm fine with that.
I don't care what the Earth is. I just think it's interesting that it can't be a globe and flat at the same time.
So here's the thing. It's not a globe. We can prove that. Mm-hmm. So that kind of leaves flat or something else. It appears to be flat. It measures flat. It's testably flat. And saying I don't care is a form of Stockholm syndrome because you do care, because there's more. They're hiding more land, most likely. Maybe more land within our realm. Okay. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding abundance. They're hiding your true power. They're hiding your sovereignty. Is that the word? They're hiding who you are. They're hiding the creator. They're hiding your true potential. They're keeping you in fear. They're limiting your life. They're shortening your life. They're making your life, people are lost. I used to wake up. I used to just look forward to TV time. I loved watching television. It's a mind control device. I know people told me that for years. I've heard that. I'm like, oh, you're silly. It's just entertainment. Entertain, right, is to dull your mind with nonsense.
True. So true. I was just imagining being in a debate. Like, I don't need to tell anybody that the world is flat. I just think it's interesting to tell them, well, it can't be both. It's either or. So it's either round like a globe or it's flat. And all the evidence, of course, points to that it being flat.
Here's my challenge for people. Get the app. Don't subscribe unless, of course, you want to message people. Don't subscribe. You don't need to. It's $3. You're buying me a half of a beer. Okay. And then just watch the daily video every day. Hit those buttons. Hit the Flat Earth, the Flat Earth documentaries button. Like, it's like, hey, it's Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. You go, like, let's get a movie. Don't get a movie. Watch a movie. Flip that up to your television. Mirror it on your television and watch one of the documentaries in there. I got Flat Earth documentaries, full-length featured Flat Earth videos. Watch them and you'll be like, that your brain will just wake up. It'll have energy. You'll be like, this is fascinating. Who needs movies in this crazy world we're in? I mean, you want comedy? Go outside and just look at everybody. It's a comedy show. Okay. You want mind expanding knowledge? Watch some of the videos on the app. And then go hit that Tataria mud floods button. And then if you see, wow, that's a great video, subscribe to that channel because he has other videos that aren't on the app. Right. I have never been bored. Since I learned about flat Earth, I haven't had 1 second of boredom. If I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning for some reason, I'm like, great, I got 5 extra hours that I can go learn stuff, right? Life is amazing. So how does it change your life? Life's amazing. I know that no one has control over me. I've taken my power back. I have new amazing friends. Every one of those blue dots is my best friend. Everyone, even the ones I haven't met yet, I love them all. Okay. And because they're all people vibrating on the same energy wavelength.
So there are a lot of people that believe or say the lie that the world is a globe, but they still believe that we can attract a vibration, like Bob Proctor. And Dr. Edgar Mitchell also says that's what I like, that we're co-creating all the time. So he talks about that it is actually from a point of view. And
So yes, on a ball, we're not on a ball because we'd all be dead if that was the case. But you can't live on a ball. But if you could, sure, you could have God, and sure you can have these manifestations, but none of that makes any sense. It all works beautifully on a flat Earth. Astrology really works well on a flat Earth. On a ball, you're still lost. Astrologers don't ever calculate the movement of the earth, just of the other luminaries, right? And we can prove that those aren't distant rocks floating around just by their brightness and the way they move and how they repeat and how we know where they're going to be. None of that makes any sense whatsoever. So how does flat earth matter? It changes your life in every way. And it connects you with your true source, and it allows you to really manifest your life in ways that you never thought were possible before.
From magnetism and energy, and that being what holds it all together. I listen a lot to Bob Proctor, and he keeps saying that what was the answer to what it takes to put a man on the moon? The will to do it. And whenever he says that, I know people haven't been to the moon, but he preaches and talks about vibration and the law of attraction, and that falls in with flat earth to me when I've described.
You're talking. He's from the Thrive movement. That Proctor, from Thrive.
Proctor, yeah, prosperity.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people like that just haven't looked into flat Earth yet. So they'll mention the moon and they'll mention Mars, the landers on Mars and stuff, which is all just nonsense. But that's okay. That's just because they haven't looked into it yet. Doesn't mean you should discount other things you say. But there's people that astronauts, they're liars.
But law of attraction, I found that when I saw the movie, The Lost History of the Flat Earth with the magnetism, then Bob Proctor talks about law of frequency and vibration, and the fact that you can talk to people without being around them, and you can send messages.
Agreed.
Vibration. That makes perfect sense to me in the flat Earth.
Absolutely. And if you look at all the pyramids all over the world, they're all on these grid lines. They're all lined up the same architecture that's in the Grand Canyons here, that's in Egypt, right? All of this stuff is being hidden from us. Go to John Levy, Jon Levi, Levi. He does these 20-minute videos about Tataria and free energy and the old world. Amazing. He talks really slow. It's literally, it's a great channel to start on. They're linked in the app also. But again, all the stuff that you're watching in the app, if you like it, subscribe to that channel because they have other content on there. Endless flow content. Why the internet still allows it, right? Why some truth is still allowed out there.
David, I'm so happy to have met you. I hope it's okay if I shoot you an email, and definitely send me, or I'll get the link to the app. And when I post this interview, there will be a link for the app so everybody can download it that's watching the replay.
Right. The link, you'll get an email. You probably already got it, that has all the links in there, and some others. One, people are like, what about Elon Musk? Is he lying? There's a 5-minute video that's linked in there. Share that, because that 5-minute video shows you that everything Elon Musk has ever said is a lie. And it's a 5-minute video. I love 5-minute videos. My channel, DITRH. If I do a 5-minute video, people start saying, oh, what are you doing, documentaries now? My videos are short. Okay. My videos are short and to the point. DITRH, deep inside the rabbit hole. And just start going through those videos. They're linked in the app also. Under the web button, you'll see DITRH shortlist. Bam. And the videos are there.
David, when I can travel again without a mask and all that, I'd love to come over and say hi to you.
I have never worn a mask.
No,
so
but
yeah, good for
but
you.
I just, in my mind, I can't travel. But when I can, I'd love to come over and say hi. And I maybe move to Texas, buy a big rifle.
There you go. We have lots of guns here in Connecticut too. And so the last thing I want to say is, don't let them control your mind with cartoons. They're cartoons. All of this is cartoons.
Yeah, good point.
Hey, thanks everybody. No questions. You guys are shell-shocked or sleeping or eating breakfast or dinner or whatever time it is there.
This is a great opportunity, and you probably never get it again. So unmute and speak your question, because I'm sure you have some.
I have a way that we can prove the Earth is a ball, right? And it's very easy, and the elite can put flat Earth to bed once and for all. It's 13,000 miles around Antarctica. So you get a whole bunch of people, 2 airplanes. You go here, you reload, and one airplane just flies like 1,000 feet off the ground and follows the coastline. So everybody can look out the left window and see the coast, so you can prove your route. Everyone here is looking out the right side and sees the coast. And about 9 hours later, they should meet over here. They've all gone 6,500 miles each. and this is where they would meet. So that would prove that it's 13,000 miles, because you can see how fast the plane's going. You can see the route that it went. But the last person to ever try that was done on a boat was done by Captain Cook. It took him over 3.5 years, and he went over 60,000 miles, because he's not going around a little thing on the bottom. He had to go around the entire world pond, 60,000 miles. The equator is only 24,000 miles. You go down to Antarctica, it's 13,000, not 60,000. 60,000. 60,000, equator, 24,000. The inner north, I'm not sure what that is, but it's smaller. It lays out on a flat Earth. Flat Earth. Earth is flat. Flat, just like we see it. Motionless, just like we sense it. Only nonsense tells you otherwise.
Beautiful. I'm so happy to meet you. And thank you for doing this and taking all this time to educate us here in Denmark. And I'm going to reach out to you, David. I hope that's okay.
No problem. No problem. And anybody that knows, if you know any other shows, if you're on board that don't talk about flat Earth, that would be interested in talking to me, go to flatearthdave.com, flatearthdave.com, and there's a Book Dave link right there. Fill out all the information. We'll start a dialogue, and then we'll get you booked on a show. flatearthdave.com. Everything else is linked there also, flatearthdave.com. Anybody else? I see someone turned on their camera. They want to say anything? No? Nice cat.
I have a question.
Oh, good. Beautiful.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your explanation. It was so interesting. But I have thinking, what's the connection between them hiding that the Earth is flat and them hiding the creator? What's the connection between these two?
What's the connection between hiding the creator and hiding what?
The flat Earth is flat. The truth.
Earth is flat. Sure. So the elite, horrible name. I don't want to call them the elite. I'll call them the evil devils that are running this world. They don't want you in a situation where you have no option to deny the creator. In the Big Bang theory, which is a whole random theory, you can believe in a creator and go, well, the creator made the Big Bang. Okay. But you can still go either way. And I went the other way. I went, no creator. I don't believe, because I believed in the Big Bang. So once you see that the Earth is flat, you can't deny the creator. There's even a Bible verse that says, once you see my creation, the Earth, you can no longer deny my existence. And that's a fact. So once you see that this place is intelligently designed, you can no longer deny a creator. And once you see the creator, you're going to be a little more mindful on people trying to steal your soul, people trying to feed you nonsense. And if you go into the Bible and look, there's 200 verses in the app under the web button, scroll to the bottom, biblical flat Earth videos. There's a whole playlist there. If you're a Bible reader, a Bible follower, or a Bible hater, watch those videos and you're going to learn some amazing things. Now, my co-host on the Flat Earth podcast, Matt, he comes from the Bible side. He loves the Bible and he knows all the stuff. That's great. But for somebody that doesn't believe in the Bible, they're not going to listen to anything he has to say. I always lead with the science, and then I go, the Bible says it also. Lead with the science, because that's undeniable. Science is science.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic answer.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks. All right. See you guys. Thanks so much. See you. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.